Chelsea Football Club are ready to pay 90 million euros for Victor Gyökeres and to loan him back to Sporting. I've got the news. Furthermore, we've got Malang Sarr coming out and absolutely slamming the club, and I'm actually going to stick up for the club for once. And secondly, Cucurella has come out, and honestly, the words that he has said are beautiful. His family's come out, and well done away fans, because the away fans made him feel so special. It's lovely to see. But before we get started and we talk about those stories, I need three things from all of you. Number one, pay the rent. It's very easy. It's very simple. Hit that like button. Best way to support the channel. We're aiming for 1,000. Number two, subscribe if you're new and you like regular football related content, especially about football club Chelsea. I'm here. And thirdly, in the comments below, let me know, do you want Victor Gyökeres at the club? Even though he's going to directly be competing with Nicholas Jackson, and there's going to be a future problem guaranteed. Let's get started. Victor Gyökeres is a special player. Victor Gyökeres has joined Sporting Lisbon from Coventry, and all he's done is win, win, win no matter what. Like DJ Khaled literally made that song about him, because all he has done is score goals, bangers, bangers, bangers. And if any of you played FIFA, be a pro back in the day, you know the type of goals he scores. He gets the ball on a halfway turn, turns around, runs at the defender, absolutely overpowers him. Beautiful finish every single time because there's so much space in behind. But what has happened? His reputation has massively grown in the last 18 months. He has got goals for fun. I think he's got 56 goals in 53 games with 15 assists. And it's got to the point now where he is being talked about like one of the best strikers in the world, if not the best striker after Erling Haaland in the world. And what has happened? Well, according to reports in Portugal, a record in Portugal is suggesting that Chelsea are willing to pay 90 million in January, and they're ready to agree it right now. They'll even loan him back till the end of the season if they can get the deal done straight away. What are my thoughts on this? Number one, I don't believe this. And the reason I don't believe this is for one occasion. The first reason is very simple. 90 million euros and you can't utilize the player until the summer. What if he breaks his leg? It is too much money. And I know people are going to say, look, we've done this with Malo Gusto. We paid 27 million euros and he went back to Lyon. We've done it with Esteval, 40 million euros, and he's gone back to Palmeiras. We've done it with Kendry Pies, and now we've done it with Anson Mino. They are willing to do it if it makes it affordable in the future. And Christopher Nkunku, he wasn't on my notes, but he came in my head. We've done this in the past. We've agreed a deal. The player stayed there. We got the deal done after. Whilst I agree with this, right, I do not believe that this kind of outlay would be allowed. Can you see Chelsea doing it with what they done with Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo? Pay that kind of money and not have them. Especially, God forbid, something happens to Jackson. It's just a PR disaster. Furthermore, that kind of money on Victor Gyökeres is crazy. I understand he's a prolific goal scorer and I understand he's shutting people up. However, I am tempted to say it's only the Portuguese league, and let me expand on it. Samuel Rodion, somebody that scored 12 goals in a whole season last year for in La Liga, has gone to Porto. He's scoring goals for fun. Darwin Núñez was scoring goals there for fun. Victor Gyökeres is scoring goals there for fun. None of those numbers have been reached in the Championship, nor did Darwin Núñez do it in La Liga. It is a little bit worrying. Genuinely, I don't know whether he's worth that money and whether there's a huge Portuguese tax on it. What is not surprising me is he's absolutely slapping it at UEFA Champions League level, and that is fueling the whole hype even more. So it's like, do we bring him in? Do we bring him in? I'm very keen to see how he goes somewhere else. I'm not saying he's not worth 90 million euros, because he most probably is. But my biggest problem, and the reason why I'm most worried about it, is because of Nicholas Jackson. People are going to say, Alex, you can have two great players in the same position. You can't. I'm sorry, you can't. Not for the long term. It will cause disruptions, it will cause panic, it will cause hysteria, and it will cause what's happening with Christopher Nkunku right now. Nkunku is unhappy. We know that. He wants to play. Jackson wants to play. What are you going to do when you get Victor Gyökeres? A lot of you are going to say, put Jackson to the left wing. He's not a left winger. He's a striker. Do not take a man that is absolutely bossing it in a specific position and try shoehorn him into a team. He's far too good for it. Genuinely, he's far too good to be shoehorned onto the left wing and not be allowed to evolve and develop in that 9 position. For me, go and get the next Gyökeres. Go and get somebody that's going to be happy to play second fiddle to Nicholas Jackson. Samuel Rodion made sense. Why did it make sense? Because he would have been happy to be the understudy and play the cup games. He would have been happy to play a game here and there. He would have been happy to come off the bench. Gyökeres will not be. Gyökeres has already gone on record and reiterated where he goes next time, he wants to play. He will not be sitting on the bench for nobody. And this is already him telling you, if I come, 90 million euros, I am starting. There is no debate about it. In the comments below, let me know, would you still sign Gyökeres after you've heard my argument? And let me know your thoughts. The next story is regarding Malang Sarr. So for those of you that don't remember, Chelsea signed Malang Sarr. I think he was 22 years old. He was at Nice prior to that. He became a free agent. And Marina Garaskaya decided, you know what, let's give him 100k. We've got him on a free agent, a nice little agent fee. We're getting the player for free. There is potential in him. He came to Chelsea. He did okay. Thomas Tuchel gave him an opportunity on that left-hand side of the centre-back role. I'm not going to say he didn't let Tuchel down, but he didn't blow up trees, right? He wasn't absolutely the second coming of a phenomenal centre-half that couldn't be dropped. What happened to him after is unfortunate, and it happens in football. The new ownership group come in, they realise he's on 100k, he's not worth the money that they're paying because he's not performing to that level. And what happened was he was slowly frozen out to the point where Mauricio Pochettino, in a press conference, said, Malang who? He didn't know who they were talking about. He did not know who Malang Sarr was. And I don't blame him. He had like 50 players and one of the players was just not even training with him. So it's very difficult to know someone's name unless you're meant to know his name. So it's kind of bad on Pochettino, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on this one. But Malang Sarr spoke to L'Equipe and he said this. He has no regrets about joining Chelsea. Firstly, he shouldn't have any regrets. You were getting paid 100k a week to play and you had an opportunity at Chelsea Football Club. There should be no regrets. You earned your money. Then he said, I wouldn't say I'm a victim of football business. However, I do feel I've been mistreated. Firstly, you're either a victim or you're not. I don't think you can be a victim when you've had an opportunity under Thomas Tuchel and you didn't take it. And more importantly, the second one, bro, you signed on the dotted line. No one forced you to sign on that dotted line. You know, in football, there can be instances where you're frozen out. It's part of the game. Sadly, it's a reality and you get compensated massively for it. Then he went on and saying he wasn't frozen out because of poor performances or because he's a bad person, but because of football business. For me, this is nonsense. He was not better than Trevor Chalobah. He was not better than the existing centre-halves we have, nor the centre-backs that we currently possess that we're invested into for the future. He was just not up to par. And the reality is, clubs that were interested in him weren't willing to pay the money. If he was that good as he is suggesting, people would have come for him. Problem was he was earning too much money. That's what he doesn't want to talk about. And this really frustrates me when I see players do this, because I've got no problem with people sitting there and getting their money, but I don't want you after complaining. So what he's done now is he said he's worked on himself. He's very confident in what he is. Good for you, brother. We all should do that. Good for you. However, don't come out now bad-mouthing the club when you were happy to accept the salary. You were accepting a great salary, you were living in a great city, and more importantly, you were earning way more money than most of your teammates at a level where you weren't contributing at all. So let's stop this rubbish. Let's move on to the next story. A prime example of somebody that really struggled initially and then came out and really became phenomenal is Marc Cucurella. Marc Cucurella joined from Brighton, and when I tell you Cucurella used to annoy the living daylight out of everybody. I don't know a single Chelsea fan that really liked the player at one point. Like, genuinely, it got toxic with some fans. With me, what really frustrated me was Cucurella would never close his man down and just allowed crosses in. So his mentality was, if you don't beat me, that's fine. As long as you cross it past me, it doesn't count as an L. It is an L. However, in the last 8 months, he's really settled into the pressure of being a Chelsea player, and the more stable environment has really developed Marc Cucurella. Marc Cucurella has become everything we thought we were getting when we were originally signing him, to the point where I've started calling him the new Azpilicueta. He literally is very versatile. He can play in midfield, he can play left back, left wing back, not to a tremendous standard at wing back or midfield, but he does the basics at a very good level, and he gives you ball security and good passing range. So all of a sudden, you have a very competent player. And at the end of the Leicester game, the Chelsea away fans, I want to give you guys so much praise, because you know it's easy to give love to Nicholas Jackson, to Cole Palmer, Joao Felix, because he's the new one, Enzo Fernandez, and forget the journeyman players, the ones that don't give you the step overs, the ones that express themselves as much. Cucurella got a whole, like a little 2-3 minutes where they were singing a song and just serenading him and clapping him, and you could see he was so pleased, he was so happy. Fofana pushed him towards the fans, and it was a lovely moment, and he came out and spoke about it. He said, look, I've worked hard for this, it was so nice to get this. Honestly, it just showed that all my hard work through the tough times was so worth it, and it was wonderful to hear. Then you had his wife share the moment, and for me, this is just a wonderful story. This is prime example of if you want something really badly and you're talented enough to be in the role already, if you work hard, you're going to get exactly what you deserve. And in his case, he's getting it now. He's a Euros winner. He's absolutely bossing it with Chelsea right now. They're third in the league. We can actually start winning some more games, and maybe people are going to start putting more pressure on us, like, oh, sneaky title race. I don't care about that. I just want to give flowers where they're due. Marc Cucurella, you deserve all the flowers. But we might be getting Gyökeres in January. So if you guys want to know the strengths and weaknesses of Gyökeres, I got a video here that breaks it down for you perfectly. Go check it out. Let me know your thoughts. Peace out. I'm out. Hit the like button on the way out. Bye.